Welcome to this edition of the MetaFi Shack. Today, I wanted to talk about MetaMask. I wanted to talk about ConsenSys and Infura, and I wanted to talk about FUD. How it's so easy to convince a group of people that something is not the way it is. It's sad. It's sad how people, and then they get all aggravated, they get upset. I had someone today get upset with me over this same story and then my reaction to it, but it's like, well, I don't know how to say it in another way. Like someone asks for my opinion, I give them my answer, and then when they don't like the answer, then go and then they get upset. Well, then don't fucking ask questions. You know? How is this like you don't have to stress about the answers that you're given. Just if you don't want to hear the answers, just don't ask them. But my biggest issue is just that we have to stop listening to these random people that FUD or they create these news articles or they go to Twitter Spaces and they have some type of authority like this guy Mario that everyone is listening to, which is so weird to me because like right now this dude basically could just start like a recruiting campaign for some terrorist organization and a bunch of morons are just there listening to every fucking single word this person has to say. And it's like it's odd to me. You know, it's odd that you're feeding that engagement to someone that a couple of weeks ago you didn't know who it was. The other thing that I have issues with is that guys do some research, man. Like I'm very confused about what's upsetting people right now about MetaMask today. Like, are you upset that they've been sharing your information for the past 4 years and then you just found out today? Are you upset because they decided to finally come clean and tell you that they've been sharing your information for the past 4 years and then now you have some type of issues with it? Because this is what they've been doing, guys. They're a service provider. They collect data. Data is the new bacon. People take your data and they farm your data and then they sell it to other people. Like, did you guys not see what happened with Facebook? What happened with, I mean, what was the name of that company that was doing the same thing with Facebook? Basically, they were just buying Facebook data. Oh my God, I cannot come up with Quantica Analytica or whatever the hell that was fucking name. I forget what they're called right now. I cannot come up with the name. But yeah, guys, have you paid ever for MetaMask? Like, do they charge you? Are you on MetaMask institutional? No, right? You're in the free version, right? Where they're gonna use your data. And basically, what I decided was like I looked up the original privacy agreement of 2019, and guess what? It said that they collected your IP data back then. So I have no idea what's the change or what. Basically, what I think is the change is that they actually say MetaMask and Infura will collect your IP address. When before it would just say ConsenSys and their products would collect your IP address. Well, my peeps, if Infura and MetaMask are products of ConsenSys, they've been collecting your data. They've been collecting your IP address. They've been collecting your info. They might have been collecting your Ethereum addresses and everything. So I'm like I said, I'm very confused of what's this whole FUD of. MetaMask all of a sudden. Because what this can create is more issues than good. If you just randomly start loading random RPCs into your wallet that you don't know where they're coming from, they might have been created yesterday night. They might have been created just for this situation. They might have been created just to drain your wallet and then go in and they FUD the shit out of this, share it with a bunch of people that are very, very gullible. And then they just, I have no idea because, like I said, this has been happening, guys. They've been collecting the data. So like right now I'm having issues on or at least not I guess not issues. I'm having trouble understanding where's the FUD. Are you upset because they're doing it and you didn't know it? Are you upset because they're telling you now that they're doing it even though they've been doing it for 4 years? Are you upset because you never knew when you gave out your data for 4 years? I just anyways, let me go say hi to the guys. Yo, Chris, what's up, buddy? I saw you following the channel. Thank you, buddy. Duck says, hopefully I can stay up for the stream. Probably not. I'm sorry, buddy. Like I wasn't planning on streaming today. It just I don't know where I decided to. Yo, what up, blog? Hey everyone. Hope all had a good day. Thank you, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving. I have not had turkey yet. Good father, what up, buddy? Please explain the MetaMask wallet stuff. Please, is there any worries about funds in a wallet or stakes attached to a wallet? Godfather, as of right now, it seems that it's just a privacy issue, meaning you get to decide who you want to share your wallet with or your data with. Like if you're running your own node right now, you're not going to have a problem. If you change the RPC setting, then you might not share the information with ConsenSys, but then you share it with whoever else. Like my peeps, we have to understand, unless you're running your own node, you're always sharing something. You have to decide who you share it with, I guess. So, I mean, should we continue to share with the people that have been giving us a service for 3.5, 4 years with no issues, no hacks, no problems? Or should we share our data with someone that we don't fucking know who they are? They just came out new yesterday, load up an RPC. The information gets sent to who knows where. So, what are we talking about here, guys? I mean, isn't that the real threat? Isn't the real threat that we might connect our wallets and our data and our info and our address to a new provider that we don't fucking know who they are? So shouldn't we at least wait a week? Wait a month? It just sure you get upset, you protest this, but then you first of all you figure out how long have they been doing it, and it looks like it's been always. It's just that before they wouldn't specify it. But I mean, at this point, we have to understand unless you're using your own mesh network out of your own burner phone or computer connected from a unknown internet or unknown. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're either getting connected through our phones, which we have a cell phone provider that has all our data, or where we live, our IP, where we have everything, or we're going through an internet service provider. They do the same thing. So, I mean, I just don't understand people how sometimes they want to be like the most fucking cypherpunks, but then the next day they're like, eh, it's only another regulation. Let's listen to what BitBoy has to say. So, like yesterday, BitBoy was people's hero, but then today we're cypherpunks again. Oh, delete the MetaMask. Delete the. Get a VPN. Get a hide on the get your aluminum foil hat. I mean, guys, what are we talking about? This is insanity to me. I mean, it really feels insane that yesterday you had 20, 40, 50 people in the community telling you that what BitBoy is trying to do, meaning bring in dysregulation for exchanges and all the stuff that he's doing, which supposedly is what he was complaining about this guy, Sam Ben-McFreed. And now you understand that the only reason that he was bringing it to to his viewers, and bringing it onto Twitter and bringing it onto YouTube, it was because he had his own bill. Oh, great! So he doesn't like this FBF dude's bill. Let's bring my bill. And then a bunch of people in the community just align on this shit. They keep tagging him, and they don't understand. Like, guys, really, like, I really don't try to sound like an asshole, but it's like the more you tag one of these people, it's like, I mean, I don't know what to say, but it's just like, it's almost like, guys, like, your moral compass. You need to be a little more focused, because it's just a matter of doing a little bit of research. 3 5 years, 3 weeks ago, 3 days ago, this dude pushes all kinds of random shit coins. So when it came to blockchain, he had the ability to be his own regulator. But him, as his own regulator, he decided to go push shitcoins, to take the money from the shitcoin pushers, to take his viewers to the grinder. So why are we gonna take this dude serious? Why are we gonna allow this dude to pass any type of regulation? Because, like I said earlier, when he had a chance to be his own regulator, he failed. So yeah, Godfather. Sorry that I always get into like side conversations. If you want to be lied to, don't ask me. I love it. Yeah, no, exactly. Like, I mean, like, do you want me to just say, "Oh yeah, don't worry, your information is okay, everything's fine"? No, my guy, your information has been shared for 2 years. If you're here for 6 months, for the whole 6 months you've been here, your data has been shared. These people collect the data. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, what should I tell you? Go to Trust Wallet, and then Trust Wallet collects your data. I mean, it's only sharing of information. I guess I just assume that shit happened. Well, my guy, it's yes. I mean, I guess we can go back and check here. You know what? Let's go step by step, and first, let's just, I guess, read what's creating all this. What's creating all the drama, and then I'll go back and show you the original user agreement, and then you'll tell me, well, okay. So let's see here. According to a revised privacy policy agreement published by ConsenSys on November the 23rd, MetaMask will begin, figure this out, they're saying that it will begin collecting users' IP addresses. That's the incorrect information, okay? Because they've been collecting. Anyways, collecting users' IP addresses and the Ethereum wallet addresses during on-chain transactions. However, ConsenSys, the wallet creator, explains that the collection of users' data will only apply if they use MetaMask's default remote procedure call. Infura individuals using their own Ethereum node or third-party RPC provider with MetaMask are therefore not subject to the newly updated ConsenSys privacy policy. Instead, the terms of the other RPC provider will apply. So that's my point. If you go with another wallet, or you load up someone else's RPC, then you're stuck to their terms. And then it's like, well, who I mean, are they more reliable than ConsenSys? So I guess that's my issue. It's just like, I'm not understanding if all of a sudden people they've finally figured out that ConsenSys is part of like JP Morgan and all this stuff. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, we were always part of the banking system. So Anyways, let's just continue here. According to consensus, information gathered in this manner may be disclosed to affiliates during business deals or to comply with know your customers and anti-money laundering requirements dictated by enforcement. MetaMask is currently one of the most popular self-custody wallet on the market with more than 21 million monthly active users. And basically, they're making it sound the reaction within the crypto community has been mostly negative. So it's just this is the people that are figuring it out now. You know, they never went to consensus privacy policy. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that some of these people, including the guys that are doing including the guys that are doing these reports, they didn't go. I mean, it's just a matter of here. Let's go and read the original privacy policy. Let's see here. All righty. Duck says, "Oh damn!" In the small print. It's always in the small print. Another example of not reading the fine print. Then someone points something out and people freak. Yeah. Hey Nico. Hey baby. Happy Thanksgiving. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, thank you, bro. But people love to make big deals out of anything and everything. Yes, sir. I feel people want BitBoy because he has a following, and so they think they get BitBoy, they get all the people and all their money. BitBoy has a lot of bots. BitBoy has a lot of bots, my friends. Like we need to understand that if you have 1 million viewers and then 100,000 of your viewers are liking your views, you're getting 100,000 views. So you get 10% of people engaged. Then sure, you have 1 million viewers. If you have 1 million people in your channel and then you get 10,000, 20,000 views, then you're engaging less than 1% of the people that supposedly follow you. It's a fraud. It seems that the things are great. Some listen to the kumbaya and then gamble with funds they could not lose. Then in the bad times, some are looking for a savior to follow, tricky to help some. Mhm. 21 million active users or wallets. That sounds like a good amount. True. So the MetaMask IP tracking using VPN, I suppose, provides a solution. Happy Thanksgiving. Let's go and read at least what they were tracking back in 2019. I went through the Wayback Machine, guys. So this is their policy back in 2019. What we collect, right? We get information about you in the range of ways. Information you give us, information we collect from you includes identity information such as your first name and last name, contact information such as your postal address, email address, and telephone numbers, profile information such as your interests, preferences, feedback, and survey responses, feedback and correspondence such as information you provide in your responses to surveys when you participate in market research activities, report problem with service, receive customer support, or otherwise correspond with us. Usage information, such as information about how you use the service and interact with us. Marketing information, such as your preference, receiving marketing communications, and detail about how you engage with them. Information we get from others. We may get information about you from other third party sources, and we may add this information we get from you Your use of the service, such as information, include social media widgets. Our site may include social media features such as the Facebook like button and the widgets such as the share of this button. These features may collect your personal information and track your use of the site. These social media features are either hosted by a third party or hosted directly on our site. Information automatically collected. Again, this is from 2019. We may actually record certain information about how you use our site. We refer to this information as the log data. Log data may include information such as your user internet protocol, IP address, device, and browser type, operating system. The pages or features of our site to which a user browse, and the time spent on those pages or features, the frequency with which the site is used by a user, search terms, the links on our sites the user clicked on or use, and other statistic. The service by expanding. We use this information to administer the service, and we analyze and may engage third party to analyze this information to improve or enhance the service by expanding its features and functionality and tailoring it to our user needs and preferences. We may use cookies. We also use data analytics services such as Google Analytics, information we will never collect. We will never ask to share your private keys or wallet seed. Never trust anyone or any site that asks you to enter your private keys or wallet seeds. That's very important, and I will be covering it later on. I'm going to do a quick version of how to tell if you're interacting with a valid smart contract. Okay. We use your personal information as we believe necessary or appropriate to comply with applicable laws, lawful requests, and legal process, such as to respond to subpoenas or requests from government authorities. We use your personal information to communicate about promotions, upcoming events, and other news about products and services offered by us and our selected partners. With your consent, we may use or share your personal information with your consent, such as when you consent to let us post in your testimonials or endorsements on our site, you instructed to take a specific action with respect to our personal information, or you opt into a third-party marketing communications. So yeah, basically this is when you agree to share your personal information with affiliates, business transfers, compliance with law enforcement, professional advisors and service providers, and others. So I'm not even going to cover that. This is the new one. This is the one that started on the 23rd. So what do we collect? Identity information, contact information, profile information, feedback and correspondence, financial information, transaction information, usage information, such as information about how you use the service and interact with us. So till here, it looks like it was pretty much the same. Then this is the almighty change that they specify that they're going to be collecting information as your Ethereum wallet. But I mean, before that, let's be honest, guys. They were already collecting everything. Like, you really think they're not collecting our Ethereum wallets just because this thing didn't say it? That with your consent, people like Chris Black, we're gonna like freak out. I mean, come on. It's so similar, guys. Like, now they just specify it. They're specifying what data they're taking from you. So they're saying that they're taking your credit card, transaction information, usage information, marketing information. But before, they would just say it in general. Look, usage information, feedback correspondence, marketing information, profile information. So identity information, contact information. So I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to be like a futzster or like just. But you see, what is this right here? What it's telling you? Oh, they're telling you that back in the day they used to collect your identity information, and now here they specify it. Look, they said for their identity, passport, information required for KYC and AML, sources of funds for participating in token launches, information that you give us to relation to purchase token holdings. And then back then, they would just say usage information, such as your service and interact with us. So, how do you interact with us? Oh, yeah, by the way, you have to give them your credit card. So, in my opinion, this is just like semantics. It's just a matter of they've always been collecting the data. Before they would tell you in general, hey, we're going to collect your data. Now they tell you, hey, guy, we're collecting your cell phone, your credit card, your date of birth, your social security number, your Ethereum address. So they're telling you everything. So it is what it is. I understand what you're saying about the bots, but I don't think people understand that. I feel they see numbers and that's all that matters. I mean, that's what people think. That's what people think, of course. People get all excited about the numbers. I still see it even in the community. Oh, we got like 10,000 viewers. We got this many viewers. We got this, that, and the other. But I mean, if you bought the viewers, if you're, you know, how many people are there coming in brand new and then they're buying hacks because of your actions and all that stuff? That's new users or users that count for me. If I would say so, basically they have the same bullet points, but different wording or no freak out time. I mean, it's what I noticed. It's just they were always collecting the IP address. They were always collecting your usage data. They were always collecting your personal data, your identifiers. They're always collecting your sensitive data, name, address. And basically the only thing that I found on the new one that I couldn't find in 2019, your Ethereum address. And then that was because that was this guy Chris Black asking them on a tweet that basically just said that directly, just hey guys, what do you guys mean by this? Are you guys collecting the data or not? Um, and now they have to specify they did do collect it, but it's sad that a lot of people are thinking that this just started today. Like no, they've been doing this. So it's just this were conversations that we had in the past. That was the reason that Richard wanted to start his own, wallet and all this stuff. Um, just I hope that people just don't freak out. You know what I mean? Because the problem is that the second that you start loading some random RPCs, maybe someone just is trying to get you to FUD into some random RPC setting, and then the same person that is sharing you this this incomplete article, basically saying, "Oh, this changed." Yeah, of course, this changed. But on the 22nd, the article was basically the privacy policy was pretty much the same. So if you had checked the privacy policy on the 21st, you would have noticed that there weren't that many changes. So you see, but 21 million people right now are freaking out, or 21 million of the MetaMask users are freaking out because they don't do this. They don't go back and check. Oh, oops, we were always sharing the data. Oh, Godfather just threw here. You see, Godfather just threw something that they're probably going to take another year to go ahead and update. But you'll see, Godfather, in a year they'll put that update that you just said, because in a year they'll be able to add up. But we also collect data from Pulse Chain. We also collect data from Binance. We also collect data from AVAX. We also collect data from enter your RPC setting here. You see, so that's the problem. It's like we're focusing on what ConsenSys is saying, but then if we're using MetaMask and then they control it, then they're still collecting data. It's a matter of, I think that the only thing people are complaining right now, I guess, is who keeps the data. Is the only thing I'm thinking that they're upset about. Because people, you guys have to understand, if you're using a free service, someone is mining your data, either to sell you something, sell you a product, sell you a service, give you better service. Um, so yeah. Okay, I also wanted to cover this one here real quick. I'm not sure if people actually know what we're talking about. So let me share this. RPC meaning in crypto. You may have heard of RPCs, and oftentimes when using the non-custodial wallet MetaMask, probably, but you know what are they and what their uses are. Our best guess is that you ended up here for querying RPC meaning crypto in Google. Well, RPC nodes are an essential piece of technology for all dApp development. These nodes make it possible for dApps and other projects to communicate with a blockchain. If that sounds interesting, allow us to explain in further detail. Let me go here. The acronym RPC stands for Remote Procedure Call. Okay, so always remember that we do the Pulse RPC, so we would have a Pulse Remote Procedure Call whenever we're loading ours here in the with the ID and everything. RPCs allow communication with servers remotely and provide the ability to execute programs in a separate location. In blockchain terms, an RPC is a set of protocols that allow a client such as MetaMask to interact with a blockchain. In the Ethereum world, when we mention it, we're usually talking about the way a wallet or browser talks to an Ethereum node to ask it about something on the blockchain or send it a transaction. In this context, a node accepting RPC calls is called an RPC endpoint. People who want to make Ethereum RPC calls without running their own node often use an RPC endpoint hosted by Infura or Alchemy. And by the way, guys, this is another thing I wanted to say. If you guys want to learn how to load up into Alchemy, I can teach you how to do that. So I'm probably not going to do it today because I kind of wanted to calm a little bit of the information. But then if that's something that you guys want to do, I can definitely do it for you. And then you can have that second option that you're not always counting with Infura, you have Alchemy as well. But remember, the data, then you wouldn't be sharing it with Infura and ConsenSys, you would be sharing it with Alchemy. Okay, so that's just, you know what I mean? Like we have to always focus on that because I don't want to I don't want to teach you guys how to load the Alchemy RPC and then in a month from now, Alchemy's got to come up with their own policy updates saying, "Hey, we're sharing your IP, we're sharing your Ethereum wallet. I'm sorry, not sharing, collecting data." So you guys have to remember. I guess this is why I wanted to read this for you guys. In order to interact with a blockchain, we need a way to access the network servers through a suitable and generic option to perform operations like viewing a balance, creating a transaction, or interacting with a smart contract. RPCs are what gives us the ability to establish that connection with the servers. When a developer creates a decentralized application or dApp with RPC capabilities, a user will then be able to perform requests and interact with the blockchain. For example, if you've ever used a decentralized exchange or DEX, by connecting a wallet like MetaMask, your connection and communications are being routed through an RPC to communicate with a blockchain server. All righty, guys. So this is for Nico and for Godfather. You guys are a little bit more expertise, so we'll cover it real quick. How do I connect to an RPC using MetaMask? To connect to a custom network using a compatible RPC data, we recommend using the MetaMask wallet. You can connect to a custom network by following these steps. You would go to MetaMask website and download the MetaMask wallet. You guys already have that. After installing and securing your 12-word secret recovery phrase, click on the Ethereum mainnet at the top of the MetaMask wallet screen. Select Add Network. Your browser will open a new tab in which you can copy and paste the details of the custom network. After successfully connecting to the Polygon mainnet, your MetaMask wallet will display both A, the network, and B, the native asset. Okay. And then closing thoughts, it mentions all dApps, decentralized applications, need a way to communicate with blockchains. And without a means of communication, dApps or dApps, some people call it dApps, won't be able to access information and make transactions on the blockchain on which they operate. Thankfully, we have RPC nodes that facilitate this connection between the blockchain and the dApps in order for users to interact with them. We hope that you've now understood RPC meaning crypto as a Web3 user and that it has inspired you to learn more about all things crypto and blockchain. Learning never stops. And I agree with that. So I kind of wanted to cover that real quick. Let me load up here for you guys. Mm, let's see here. I'll give you guys the settings for Alchemy. Mm-hmm. So how's everyone doing today? I forgot to ask, guys. I'm just kind of like chilling today. Let me see what the guys are saying. So yeah, to give you props, Godfather, wait for that FUD in 6 months to 12 months. Just another magical update. Oh my God, we need to enter that Binance as well. We've been collecting the data. Yep, we've been collecting the data from Binance and from Pulse Chain and and from everything else. They have to tell you. Godfather says yes. I wanted to know that RPC. Oh, awesome, beautiful, awesome. Remote procedure call. Remember that, guys. That'd be interesting. Beautiful. Okay, let's cover that. Let's cover that. We have time. You got it. It's my pleasure, brother. Anything for my Hexicans. I feel I learned so much on your channel, brother. It's an honor. This stream is fire. Check is in the mail, Nico. Check is in the mail. Thank you, babe. We trying to get out some funds to buy hacks at these low prices. Oh yeah. By the way, guys, no financial advice, but when you see it going down, that's the time. Doing good, bro. Baby didn't want to sleep last night. Over visiting family, clean up, just chilling now, getting ready to head home. Tons of food. That's awesome. That's awesome, bro. Happy Thanksgiving. I haven't even talked to my family yet today, so I don't even know what they've been up to in Puerto Rico. Like, we always have big family gatherings for Thanksgiving. Alrighty, guys, and before we load that, we teach you guys how to load that RPC setting for Alchemy. Let's figure out what triggered all these changes for ConsenSys to start talking and changing the their privacy policy and all that good stuff. Okay, I always like to cover those. So this is coming directly from the ConsenSys website, and this is from November 8th, so a few weeks ago. ConsenSys response to the U.S. Department of the Treasury request for comment on the responsible development of digital assets. In this letter to the U.S. Department of Treasury, we discuss how the programmable blockchain ecosystem is innovating to mitigate financial crime, risks pertaining to digital assets, specifically the theft of private keys through phishing, malicious smart contracts, and compromised front end user interfaces. Mentions ConsenSys Softwares respectfully submits this letter in response to the U.S. Department of the Treasury request for comment on the responsible development of digital assets dated September the 19th, 2022. Below, we discuss how certain technological innovations are anticipated to mitigate the risk of financial crime pertaining to digital assets, specifically the theft of private keys through phishing, malicious smart contracts, and compromised front end user interface. As the Treasury Department works on legislative legislative. I should know that word. I'm thinking in Spanish legislativo and regulatory proposals. We encourage policymakers across government to pay attention to the innovation in the programmable blockchain ecosystem, especially with respect to how developers are working towards technical solutions to financial crime risk. We view this common letter as an innovation to converse further regarding the ongoing development of Ethereum and other programmable blockchain ecosystems. We hope to engage with you in greater depth on the summarized points that follow below. We appreciate the opportunity to collaborate with you on the important task of bolstering innovation while mitigating the risk what the new technology may present. Okay, and it mentions their background. So this I kind of wanted to read because the oldest user agreement that I found, by the way, guys, was from 20. I think it was like early 2019 or 2018. So they've probably been collecting data since way before. But let's go and read this. ConsenSys was founded in 2016 after the launch of the Ethereum protocol with the goal of facilitating decentralization through the development of blockchain-based computing platforms. We believe that through decentralized networks like Ethereum, we can innovate and achieve like never before. We have dedicated our people, products, and resources to help drive this evolution. Okay. Let's go ahead and read just the. Let's just read the. Blockchain allows someone to participate in peer to peer transactions or a digital community with no central authority acting as a gatekeeper, but that system requires such users to take responsibility for themselves in all respects. The private key is the technical representation of that self responsibility, and from that private key arises a meaningful degree of financial crime risk. So I think basically they decided to change their privacy policy and just inform it just because of this letter. Financial crime targeting Ethereum users, malicious smart contract, compromised user interfaces, mitigating financial crime through account abstraction. I mean, basically Ethereum 2.0 and ConsenSys is just they're centralized now to a way that they're definitely not DeFi. So yeah, I mean they give you all these points. Because I can share this so that if you guys want to read the whole thing, let me just post it here in the comments. In case you want to bore yourself to sleep. I mean, basically, all they're doing on this is just telling government and the Treasury Department what they've been doing for the last 6 years. All righty. And then let me read this real quick directly from the MetaMask. How to tell if a smart contract is safe to interact with. This has been recently updated, so it's just like 2 weeks old. And it mentions smart contracts are the computer programs that run on the AVM or Ethereum virtual machine, a similar and similar blockchains. Their name is somewhat misleading. When you interact with them, you're not signing up to a contract, but simply triggering a program to run. The virtually endless possibilities for smart contract functions is what makes Ethereum and Web3 so powerful. Their accessibility is also a key feature since Web3 is meant to be decentralized and accessible to everyone. Smart contracts can be created and deployed by anyone who wants to. Inevitably, some try and exploit this freedom to take advantage of other users. This is why you should learn how to identify fraudulent smart contracts and stop yourself falling victim to their scams. For clarity, smart contracts could represent a token such as ERC20 token, which are defined and managed by smart contracts, or even an NFT collection. A function, a dApp such as program, which oversees a token swap, or even a DAO governance mechanism. And then here mentions the difference between connecting versus approving. When using MetaMask in the big white world, you'll often be prompted to connect your wallet. You'll also reasonably often be asked to approve certain operations. In this context, it's approvals, also referred to as allowances, you need to focus on. The distinction is important. Connecting your wallet to a site doesn't allow it to do anything with your funds unless you specifically consent. So So this connection will enable adapt to propose. I'm not sure what that word means. Willist. Let's see. Learning with you guys. So 1 second. During the time that at the same time as where as. Cool. Sweet. Guess we are learning. Let's see here and go back to the other one. There we go. So Willis disconnection will enable adapt to propose certain transactions or actions to you. Nothing will happen to your funds unless you approve the transactions that are suggested. Read more on connecting your wallet here. And then I guess that we can cover some other time. Approvals, meanwhile, involve giving a smart contract the ability to interact with a certain token in a certain quantity as and when they require. You should always stop and think and I think that was a typo. When being asked to approve something, as it generally involves handing over control of your assets to a computer program that could have been written by anyone. Okay? So always remember that. Checking if a smart contract is trustworthy. Let's go through some things to look for when evaluating whether you should trust a smart contract. Is it asking you to approve access to your tokens? Other than social engineering to get a hold of your secret recovery phrase, token approval scams are one of the most common attack vectors in Web3. This is why we explained them in brief above. If you consent to adapt token approval, you handing it control of whatever token and quantity of that token that you approve. This alone should make you think twice. Okay, so always think twice, guys. When if it's you go into one of these tokens and it tells you unlimited access or something like that, because you might be giving away your coins. Does the token to which the dApp is requesting access make sense? Is it relevant to the dApp functionality you intend to use? Does the quantity of tokens being requested make sense? Bear in mind that many popular apps request access to an essentially infinite amount of the token to prevent you having to sign and pay for numerous transactions in the future. Look up the address on the relevant block explorer. All smart contracts have an address. Any reputable dApp, NFT collection, or other party should make this address readily available, either directly on their main site or in docs. MetaMask will also show you the smart contract's address before you sign any transactions involving it. Okay. And this with mentions how on Etherscan you can input the address into the Block Explorer search bar. Many of these, including Etherscan, will tell you if the code is verified or not, as highlighted below. You can also check to see if the contract has a name. If it doesn't, it would be either very new or untrustworthy. Okay, so here you go, guys. Like here, it would let you know the information that we need to go and cover. This, I would guess, I will be covering here in a few days when it comes to the crypto tax workshops. You could also check the comment section on the Block Explorer for an indication of user sentiment. Though they take this with a pinch of salt, they'll take this with a pinch of salt as it could be influenced by fraudulent actors themselves. Use coin token list sites to investigate a token. Go to CoinGecko, for example, and input the token's name or address. You should be able to see relevant details about the token, such as their project's website and their socials. Here, you could check whether the dApp token project has a genuine active community that isn't just full of bots, or look for a white paper on their website that demonstrates that isn't just a rug pull in waiting. Or try to like check if like it's people that have been in crypto for like 6 weeks or 6 months. Yeah, don't fall for that. Check recent contract activity. Look at the recent transactions listed on the smart contract page on the Block Explorer. Willis Block Explorers can be overwhelming. Just try and focus on spotting patterns and then asking why that pattern might exist. A common fraudulent practice, for example, is to prevent token buyers and holders from selling a token. So if you don't see any sell transactions, you may be looking at a honeypot scam or similar. So last one I will mention. So it bears repeating, always act with caution on Web3. If you're not sure about specific site or have any further questions, get in touch with us via, I guess, yeah, that's specific for them. All righty. Think I went to read it, packing up, about to drive home. Gonna have to take off in a minute. Thanks for sharing, Block. You always provide great info. Have a good night, bro. Take care, everyone. You got it. You got it, Godfather. Have a great day, buddy. Happy Thanksgiving. But then, yeah, if you want to come back later and check, I'm gonna add the Alchemy RPC endpoints real here. So let's go and cover that. Let's see here. Make it a little bigger. Sweet. How to add Alchemy RPC endpoints to MetaMask. Follow this guide if you're looking for an inferior alternative for MetaMask. All right, and it mentions you need to create an account on Alchemy, create an API key for the desired network on MetaMask, choose custom RPC in MetaMask, and fill in the network details. Why is MetaMask not working? MetaMask uses default providers to display and send transactions for your account. Because the node provider does not allocate dedicated resources to each user, it may be slow sometimes for transaction broadcasting. Alchemy provides a much better experience when it's used at your MetaMask RPC provider. If you'd like to switch this over to Alchemy to be able to see your transactions in your Alchemy dashboard and use Alchemy specific features and tools, this doc will show you how to integrate your MetaMask account into easy steps. And there is a video, so if you guys want to, I'm going to go ahead and share that website as well in the in the um, in the chat or in the description. So step 1, create a free account on Alchemy. We'll need to use Alchemy API key to replace our MetaMask endpoint. You can create a free account here. Create an API key for the desired network on MetaMask. If we want to replace our Ethereum mainnet endpoint in MetaMask, we'll need to create an Ethereum mainnet API key on Alchemy. For instructions on how to do so, you can go to step 1. In step 3, you choose custom RPC in MetaMask. You would navigate to your MetaMask wallet and click the network drop down at the top, selecting custom RPC at the bottom. And that's shown right here. You would do this. You would fill in the network details. This is where you'll grab your Alchemy API key for the desired network. And here is the information on specific networks. Okay, so if you guys want to do the test nets or Ropsten, or if you're going to then do Ethereum mainnet 2.0, then you would do this one. Of course, also, if you have Polygon, you can do this. You would use then this information. They also have the info then on Optimism. And then, of course, later, then we would have the settings for Pulse Chain. So we would have the Pulse Chain settings and then the ID and everything. So just remember, you would enter the network name, network RPC URL, chain ID, current symbol, and then block explorer. This is the example then for the Ethereum mainnet. And it mentions, and that's it. Your MetaMask is now hooked up to Alchemy. You're now unlocked game-changing tool like Mempool Visualizer. And da-da-da-da-da. That's their pitch over there. But then, yeah, guys, I'm sharing this info also in the chat. That way you guys have that info if you guys want to change from Infura into Alchemy. Me personally, like I said, don't rush into anything, because the only difference now is just that you, instead of sharing your data with Infura, you're sharing it with Alchemy. So it's just, if it's anything that's new to you, just take a break, wait, don't rush into anything. Be careful, because what I really think that could start happening is like random people sharing random links that could affect or could compromise you. Because if someone just shares you this FUD is saying like, oh my God, the end of Infura is here, MetaMask is going to melt. You need to do this, that, and the other. Then you rush into things, click in the wrong link, load the wrong RPC settings, or just maybe you're just fish with the link. So it might not even be as dramatic as compromising your MetaMask. You might just get compromised with the link, with the FUD or the statement, or however you want to see it. So yeah, guys, we're here at an hour, so I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I wanted to make sure that people were understanding that this is the it's just changes, it's updates. Basically they've been doing this for years now. They've been collecting the data. They just now updated it into their privacy policy, where it's specifying, all right, MetaMask is doing this, we're doing that, we're collecting your credit card information. But before, they were just kind of telling it to you in a generic way. But let's be honest, guys, they were always sharing the data. Okay, so remember that. Let's not try to get all fancy and then we do this like this guy. I was joking with that with Bullboy. It's like I can't stop watching this shit. It is almost like makes me think like you try to get too fancy. It's just So we don't need to do that. We can slow it down, and then we get all the information in the next 2 or 3 days, and then we're going to be able to make a more informed decision. Like, do we want to share all our data that we've been sharing for the last 6 years? Do we want to share it with a brand new provider just because? Or do we want to at least then continue with the people that that have been providing a service now for 2, 3, 4 years, and then we haven't had any hacks or any type of compromise of our data? Because that's another thing you have to remember. If you just start adding information into new websites, new platforms, new user interfaces, it's just new people collecting your data. So at some points, it's like, well, are you never going to trust anyone? Are you using, like I said, a burner phone, connecting from the McDonald's Wi-Fi, and then nobody knows you, and then are you that secretive? So just be careful, everyone. Don't get fudded out, because it feels that every so often it's just like FUD what happens. So um, we'll be giving you more information on this as it happens. So catch us on the next one.
So if you have to trust experts, how do you know who to choose? You need to go back in history and see who really got it right and who really got it wrong.